given today's unfortunate situation where many people get divorced, I know many friends that have been divorced, reach out to friends and say, hey, how's your workout okay? And here's, again, attorneys too. Some attorneys are very good at dealing with people that have been divorced, married for maybe 1 or 2 years, not too many assets. It's a quick in and out, boom, 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 you're done.
Hmm.
But then you get someone like me that's been married 42 years, that's accumulated assets and IRAs, and now you're talking some very serious money. Get someone that knows what they're talking about, that or at least can understand when you explain something to them. And that's where uh, the the interview process comes, with an attorney. A lot of attorneys will talk to you and say, hey, this is what's going to happen, this is what to expect. Am I going to be dealing with you, or I'm going to be dealing with your associate? That's another thing. I did not know I was dealing with his associate. I never saw him after that first meeting
Mm.
until I met him in mediation, to get my money back. That's when he showed up, and of course I got my money back.
Nice. A success
Yeah, and
story
the
against
second
a
thing
lawyer
you
here.
asked me was what? How do you? What did you ask
What
me?
did you do? Like, what were some of the things that you did?
Ah,
Because you work
what did
out,
I
you're a
do?
very physical
Yeah.
person, you're a musician,
Um,
but what did you use?
yeah, that's a very good question, and you're right. I have two ways of blown off steam. Let's put it that way. Fortunately, one I do on a daily basis, and I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. I'm 72, so I've been doing it for 60 years, working out. I have worked out nonstop for 60 years, including last night and again tonight. I work out every day. I have not missed a day, have not missed a day since August of 1973. I've
Wow.
been working out because August of 73, I had the flu, a real bad flu. I was out for a week, but I have not been sick. I get little sniffles here and there. Have worked out every single day since August of 1973. Even if it's like a 15-minute workout, I've had to do that during ex parte hearings. 8:30, I had to be in court, right?
Yeah.
Which means I had to wake up 7 o'clock. So a real quick workout, 15 minutes, half an hour, 35 minutes, boom, I'm done. But I worked out.
Yeah.
It helped me here. This is where it helps me. You know, 15, 20 minutes, it's just like a maintenance thing, but it helps my mind. And, a couple of hundred push-ups, some sit-ups, some weights, 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. I have different types of workouts. 2-hour workout is my regular workout, an hour and a half, an hour on the road workout. I worked out on the road. I worked out in planes around the world in different hotels, but I've always worked out. That's the way I blow off steam. And I tell people this, and I have another one that I'll tell you about. I tell people this: uh, if I did not work out, it would be drugs and alcohol. I do not. I drink a beer or drink a wine. I do not. I have an addictive personality. I'm addicted to working out. I really am. I'm addicted to work.
Mm.
At 72, I put in like a 56-hour work week, even till now. And so I'm addicted to work. I'm addicted to working out. Probably had a contributing factor to my divorce too. After the ex decided to retire, but that if I did, so I never drink on my own. Never drink on my. I have beer in my fridge, but I will never drink alone. I drink socially with friends. I drink, but I will never drink on my own. Addicted too. And but that's the way I blow off steam. So I don't drink. I don't get a beer and say, hey, this is the way I relax. I relax by working out. After I work up and fatigued, I relax. The second thing, and this is a big, big thing, music. I'm a musician. Until COVID hit, I was in two rock and roll bands. I like to say I am still in two rock and roll bands. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. So I play many instruments, several instruments, play two rock and roll bands. That is another way I blow off steam. That's my creativity coming in. I mean, literally, I'm here in my study. I have worked in my study, and I have my music studio in the back, and the band comes in, I'll drop everything and go in there and switch left brain to right brain. Boom, just like that in a heartbeat. I pick up my electric violin or my tenor sax or my harp or congas, and man, now I have gone from a tax accountant to a musician. And fortunately, I have the ability to be able to do that. Those are the two things that helped me also go through this process. The music, because when I'm on stage or when I'm performing or I'm practicing or I'm playing with the band, uh, nothing else matters. It's all of a sudden I'm in a zone that's completely different. When I'm working out, I'm lifting a heavy weight and I'm really concentrating. I'm not thinking about work right now. I'm not thinking about divorce. I'm not thinking about this. I'm working on my body, trying to look good for myself, trying to be good, trying to be healthy, because I know that eventually, in the long run, that's going to help me. So those are the two things that I used and still do to blow off steam.
How important is it to tell people that they need an outlet?
Oh, extremely important. Because if you don't have an outlet, you're going to resort. Let's put it this way: you will look for something else. You have to. If you're, and then not only a divorce, you're going through a financial crisis. Your job's been, and by the way, I've been laid off too. And if you want, we can talk about that later if you have time. If you do not, you're going to, and I use this term very loosely, don't hold it against me. You're going to wallow in self-pity if you don't have an outlet. It's going to be a why me, how come me, what happened, what did I do? And you're going to start questioning yourself. Did I do something that caused this marriage to break up? The husband he was working hours and hours and hours, and I was taking care of the kids, and maybe I didn't give him the attention. And you're going to start rethinking, even though you might have been the best homemaker in the world, and I know a lot of women there are homemaker in the world, and he's out there busting his butt and making money. He comes home tired, you're tired with the kids, and all of a sudden he goes to sleep, you go to sleep, and you're sleeping with the kid, and he's sleeping at home. I got to get up early and go to work tomorrow. And the person that's staying at home now, he's busy at work. He's got no time to think. Now you're at home with the kid's gone to sleep, and you're sitting there watching TV, and you're watching. I'm using this because that's the only name it can. You're watching Oprah, and you got some lady come in there and talk about her divorce. And oh man, what did I do? Did I mess up? Oh gosh. You're wallowing self-pity, and that's going to keep festering. You got to have an outlet.
Yeah.
When the kid's asleep, get on to Zoom or get on to Jack LaLanne. I use Jack LaLanne as my hero. Shows you my age. Get on to something that start working out, exercising. There's nothing better than working out, man. I got to tell you, even if it's 15 minutes, even if it's stretching, do something to work your body, and if you work your mind too. Crossword puzzles. Don't watch TV all the time. Yeah, I have TV white noise in the background, but I'm doing taxes, right? I'm working my mind. Work your mind, mind, body, spirit. Those are the three things that I use. I use my mind for my taxes, my body for my work, and my spirit is my music. I mean, I've done that all my life. I picked that up from my mom, who at 90 still works out every day, still does crossword puzzles every day, and still sights read 4-part harmony on the piano. My mom at 90.
That is brilliant.
Mind, body, spirit. I picked that up from my mom. Mind, body, spirit. And that I've worked. Sometimes there's more mind, less body, and less spirit. Sometimes more spirit, but you have those like an egg. You got the shell, you got the egg, you got the yolk. Okay, it's one egg, but it's got 3 parts to it. One person that has 3 parts to him or her. And so I work those on an ongoing basis. Again, not necessarily in the same order or the same amount, but it's there, and literally at any given time, it's always there.
David, we're getting close to the end of this conversation. So I definitely want to ask you, if you had to do it all over again, would you?
Oh boy, if I had to do it all over again, I would do it for my kids. I got the greatest kids, you know. Um, yes, if I had to do it over again, I would do it for the kids. I I have a hard time, and this is my negative. As I've gotten older, I had a hard time with the L word. I L you, I want to marry you. Initially the love word.
Yeah.
I use that a lot. Again, when you meet your girl and or the guy, whoever it might be that you're in love with, use the L word. As I've gotten older, I don't know if it's my bad or not. It was a hard thing as I got older to use that word. It just did not come out as easy as possible as I thought it would. Again, oh man, I love that. That's different.
Yeah.
As opposed to, so would I do it over again? Possibly, if I felt the way I did then, I wouldn't. Today, I would not. I don't think I would. I think at 72, I'm fairly set in my ways. I might have a significant other, but marriage is out of the question for me. I do not think precedent would be too. It would be too much going on, because I married someone. Let's say she'd have assets, I'd have assets. We'd have to do a prenup, and right up top, prenup puts a damper on things, and yours is yours and mine is mine, because you are preparing for the worst.
Yeah.
It's really what you're doing. That's all a prenup's about. Prenup, right? And so at this age, I don't think I would want to do that. If I was a billionaire, maybe I would want to do that. But given where we're at in an average life, where I'm at right now as an average person, I probably would not do it today. If I was 23, I got married at 24. If I was 24 and I felt the way I did, yeah, I'd do it over again. But given what I know, I think I would, certain changes I would make. Let me see, what changes would I make? I think, we had a great life until the kids got older and she retired. It was a great life, so there was nothing wrong. We got homes, we did really, really good. Yeah, short answer is, if I felt the way I did, then I would do it over again. Yeah. And especially for the kids, great kids, great grandkids. Geez, 3 grandkids. How can I not want that, right?
Yeah.
But trying to predict what would happen 40 years down the line, it's kind of hard when you're 24. You don't think of 65 when you're 24. But I think the key here is be on top of what's going on in life. Any major changes. I meant to. She had a pretty steady job. I went through major changes. I was working as an accountant, and then I got laid off. I went to real estate. 30 years, real estate's up and down. Had to get into something stable. Death and taxes, right? Mortician, tax accountant. So I picked tax accountant. Right? I never looked back. I've always had a gig.
Yeah.
And from then on out. And so, yeah, if I had to do it over again, I would do it over again. Changes, possibly. Yes, changes. Start being more aware of changes in your life. If you want to hold on to the marriage, okay, she is going to retire. Well, what do we need to do? Have a talk. We didn't do that. We didn't do it to prepare. It was like, I'm going to retire. And I said, okay, you're going to retire. So this is what I got to do. Maybe sit down and talk. Okay, if you retire, this is what we're going to do. Cut back on this, move that. Did not happen. It just retired and things moved on. And maybe that had caused part of the problem.
Maybe.
Preparation.
So divorce, blessing or a curse?
Could be both, a blessing and a curse. A blessing if it is a bad marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a brutal marriage. If it's if it's affecting the kids, if the marriage is affecting the kids, a lot of times keeping the marriage together helps the kids, but in some cases it destroys the kids. So really, and I learned this when I went to court. it was one judge, but every case that he dealt with that involved kids come first, always. Absolutely no question.
Mm-hmm.
If you have kids, then you got to do what's best for the kids. If you don't have kids, then you're going to have to look, is this salvageable? Like a car. Are you going to be able to salvage this car? You're going to total it. If you're going to be able to salvage it, yeah, maybe you can work it and you can run the salvage car until it completely dies, right? But then if you total it, it's like, just this ain't going to work. No matter what you put into it, it's not going to work. So divorce can be a blessing because then it takes you out of a bad situation. It could be a curse sometimes with the kids. If you have kids, it destroys kids, man. It can. I've seen this happen. I'm going to spend the weekend with dad or you. No, dad can't make it. He's going out of town. So he's spending, he's going to take me to the zoo. And you talk to a 5-6-year-old kid that way, 7-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid, 10-year-old, 11, 12, all of a sudden it gets really bad. Yeah. So divorce can be bad in that situation, but then again, it can be a blessing if you take them out of a bad situation, like a very abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's both. Can be both.
David, thank you for your time and for being a guest to this conversation. This was enlightening on both. I got to speak to you as someone who's been divorced and also you as a tax accountant. So for our listeners out there, I'm pretty sure that I speak on their behalf and saying thank you for being vulnerable and for sharing yourself.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for even reaching out to me. I mean, this is an honor for me. It's for you to reach out to your tax accountant and ask me something outside of the realm of taxes it's an honor for me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it big time.
Well, we loved having you. So
thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
For those of you that are listening and have been listening, that was David Paul. And I just want to say thank you for being a yes to this conversation as well, and for finding and getting education around this conversation. As always, judge us at your own free will. Be courageous and be vulnerable, because it makes a difference. Thank you.
That's a wrap on another episode of Divorce the First 6 Months. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more insights. Take care.